Budgets don't ruin deals, expectations do. I see this every week. People move to Myrtle Beach with a budget in mind and a picture in their head, and those two things don't always match. Today, I'm breaking down what $300,000, $400,000, and $500,000 actually gets you in Myrtle Beach. Not best case scenarios, but realistic options so you don't plan around the wrong expectations. If you're thinking about buying, relocating, or investing in Myrtle Beach, this video will save you a lot of frustration. I help people every week who are shocked by what their budget does or does not unlock. Today we're talking about home types, locations, monthly costs, and lifestyle differences, so you can plan confidently before falling in love with the wrong idea. Everyone browses properties online and develops expectations. Now, these expectations can fall apart because online searches only show the basics of listings. The pretty photos, the list price, number of bedrooms, that's what catches your eye. They don't show HOAs, insurance, or monthly comfort, and the location isn't obvious. And sometimes photos are misleading. Properties can look different in person, and the area they are in may not actually suit you. People assume their budget stretches the same everywhere, but location, community, age and condition of a home, and amenities change everything. This is where disappointment can start. Not because the budget is wrong, but because expectations aren't grounded. So, what does a home in the $300,000 range actually get you here in the Myrtle Beach area? In the $300,000 range, you're usually choosing between condos, townhomes, or older, smaller homes. And location matters a lot here. The closer you are to the beach, the more a home costs. Water is important here. A beautiful water view, be it ocean, intracoastal waterway, or small lake, add value to a home too. And this is true to the real estate axiom that the top 3 rules of real estate are location, location, location. As an example, we'll take a look at a home I sold on Cedar Drive in Surfside Beach. This home was in a very popular area and just a 4-minute walk or super quick golf cart ride to the beach. It was a tiny 2-bedroom, 1-bath fixer. The home was in mid-renovation and didn't even have the kitchen fully installed. It only had 896 heated square feet, no garage, and a dirt driveway. I listed it on Sunday night at 6 p.m. and woke up to a full price cash offer in my inbox. I sold this for full price $350,000 in less than 12 hours. Now, contrast this with a home I sold in the new construction community of Arcadia in Myrtle Beach for $374,000. Only 2 years old, almost 1,800 heated square feet with an attached 2-car garage, fenced yard, neighborhood with wonderful amenities like a pool and a clubhouse and pickleball courts. Why was this amazing home in this amazing community only $24,000 more than the tiny fixer? Because it was a 15-minute drive to the beach versus a 4-minute walk to the beach. You can see how you can trade proximity to the beach for square footage, age, condition, features of a home, as well as neighborhood amenities. A price range in the 400s opened things up a bit more. At this price range, buyers gain more square footage, newer construction or better condition, and more popular locations. This is where buyers feel more choice and less compromise. For many people relocating, this range feels the most comfortable. Let's take a look at 2 homes that I sold for basically the same price, $420,000 and $421,000. So this home on Red Cedar Avenue was about a 20-minute drive to the beach. 3 bedrooms, 1,900 square foot home on a 1/4-acre lot with a beautiful private pool and outdoor entertainment area, and absolutely no HOA. And then we have this home in Little River. It was only a 10-minute drive to the beach, so half the distance. This home had 2 bedrooms and 1,600 heated square feet on a 0.13-acre lot. However, not only was it closer to the beach, but it was also brand new construction located in Bridgewater, a community with amazing resort style amenities. You can see how there are even more varied, desirable choices in this price range. So a home in the 500s. This is actually above our median home price here in the entire Grand Strand. At $500,000, you're unlocking lifestyle, More popular locations, newer communities with more amenities, higher end finishes, and more generous square footage. You may gain golf communities or resort style amenities, coastal proximity or water view, or even larger lots. But expectations still matter. $500,000 doesn't mean everything, it just means more options. And smart buyers still compare monthly costs. I sold these two homes, each in a different community, for a pair of sisters. They closed within 1 day of each other. One of these homes was on Myrtle Place in Murrells Inlet. Tucked away in the 55-plus community of Seasons at Prince Creek West, the HOA maintains all landscaping, even for individual homeowners. It has wonderful amenities with a community pool and clubhouse, with library and pool tables and meeting rooms. This home was absolutely immaculate, 2,400 heated square feet, and a large 3-season back porch. It was a 20-minute drive to the beach. It sold for $520,000. The other home was a beautiful 3-bedroom home on Makita in the neighborhood of Belmare. Compared to the home on Myrtle Place at Seasons at Prince Creek West, it was a little smaller, had a screened porch instead of a 3-season porch, and had a busy road behind it, and the neighborhood had fewer amenities. But it was only 10 minutes from the beach, so it sold for $540,000. These two homes sold for very similar prices, but had different advantages. If you're watching this and thinking, I need help choosing between budget ranges, or I want to learn more about HOA costs and benefits, or I want to learn more about the areas in the Grand Strand, that is exactly what booking a call with me is for. Link is in the description. I'm happy to educate and guide you. Monthly cost differences by budget. So two homes at different prices can feel similar monthly, and two homes at the same price can feel very different monthly. Monthly costs vary with HOAs, insurance, utilities, and maintenance and repair costs. An easy example of two homes at different prices that feel similar monthly are homes that are about the same size and age and are in communities with similar HOA fees, but are in different areas. Remember, homes closer to the beach and the convenience of shopping and restaurants command a higher price. So I sold a new construction home in a more rural area of Conway for right at $300,000. That same house, built by that same builder in the neighborhood of Arcadia, which is closer to the beach, shopping and restaurants, sells for closer to $400,000. For an example of two homes that cost the same but could feel different monthly and for different reasons, we can look back again at the home on Red Cedar with the pool and the home in Bridgewater in Little River. One sold for $420,000 and the other for $421,000, so for basically the same price. For the home on Red Cedar with the pool, there's no HOA fee. For the 2-bedroom home in Bridgewater, there's a $208 a month HOA fee. Now, looking at factors besides the HOA, Red Cedar is a slightly older, larger home with vaulted ceilings and a heated pool. The power bill and insurance are both going to be higher than for the home in Bridgewater, which is brand new, smaller, and with no pool to maintain. It pays to consider the details. What is important to you? In the end, monthly comfort is the real goal. This is where buyers either feel confident or stretched. New construction versus resale by budget. We have quite a bit of new construction here in the Myrtle Beach area throughout the entire Grand Strand. Lower budgets often favor resale. That said, we have so much new construction here that if you are willing to go inland a bit and are comfortable with a smaller home, you can definitely buy a brand new home in the $300,000 range. I mentioned earlier that I sold a new construction home in a rural area of Conway for $300,000. It had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and about 1,900 heated square feet, and was in the community of Sessions Point in Conway, which even had a pool. Why was it so affordable? It is in a newly developing area that has been farmland until recently. My clients, the new homeowners, tell me it is a 20-minute drive to anything: shopping, restaurants, their jobs. They are actually very satisfied. They love their new home and feel it was an excellent value for the money. That was their priority, so they are very happy. And as I've already shared with you, mid-range budgets around $400,000 offer some flexibility. There are more options in more areas. You can buy a mid-size home, just a 15-minute drive to the beach in a community with very nice amenities, whether resale or new construction. This is the price range where some homes have their own private pool, like we saw with the home on Red Cedar. Higher budgets, as would be expected, unlock even more options in size, location, and amenities. None are better, they just solve different priorities. Common budget mistakes I see are falling in love before running numbers, ignoring HOAs, and not keeping in mind future resale value. I had clients reach out to me because they were dreaming of an oceanfront vacation condo for their own personal use, not as an investment. Since they would not have rental income to help defray the cost, the monthly costs were very important to them. As we toured oceanfront condos, I educated them about the monthly cost, the monthly HOA costs. They realized that the high HOA costs for an oceanfront unit made the monthly bill uncomfortable for them. Adjusting their search, taking HOA costs into consideration, we ultimately found them something super cute, just not oceanfront. We had started out looking at oceanfront condos with monthly HOA fees of over $1,000 a month. They ended up with a condo in Chelsea House just across the street from the beach with a pool and an HOA of only $473 a month. They are still very close to the beach and are comfortable with their monthly costs, so they're very satisfied. Another mistake can be not taking into consideration repairs that may be needed. I had clients set their heart on a spacious home on a golf course. We revisited that home 3 times as they dreamt about the possibilities. It was in their price range, but it needed a lot of TLC. They eventually had to come to terms that this home needed at least $50,000 in repairs, which is why it was listed in their price range. This would have been financially very uncomfortable for them had they bought it. Instead, we found them something else they loved in their price range, in much better condition in the same general area. Yes, it was a little smaller and it was not on a golf course. However, they love their new home and appreciate having monthly financial comfort. It can also be a mistake to assume future appreciation solves everything. It's important to not overpay and to consider future resale value. I do a comparative market analysis, a CMA, to make sure my clients never overpay. And if my clients are debating between a couple of different homes, I advise if one of them is likely to resell better down the road. Even if you think your new home here is going to be your forever home, things can and sometimes do change unexpectedly. Planning first creates better outcomes. So, how to think about budgets. Budgets aren't limits, they're filters. The right budget matches your lifestyle, monthly comfort, and long-term plans. When people plan this way, they enjoy the move much more. If you are trying to decide which budget range makes the most sense for you or how to stretch your budget the right way, I'd love to help. I have people just like you reaching out every week, trying to plan before they commit. The easiest next step is to schedule a call. Use the link in the description.